You want to know when this series starts feeling normal? When Google leaks continue to ramp up and get heavier. Because yes, we have some possible launch dates for a new Google phone, but defining what it is gets kind of interesting, I'd say. It looks like we also are getting OLED iPads and Macs very soon, along with a very interesting iPad mini, and we also have a ton of details on Samsung's upcoming Galaxy series phones, which should launch soon. I'm Jaime Rivera. Yes, this is our first video in full frame ever, and at the same time, no, don't worry, I didn't get punched. It's a sty. You know, the teenage problems we usually deal with. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with, you guessed it, deals. It's come to a point where the newer phones are better deals than even the old ones. And it's the case with the Galaxy S21 Ultra, which is currently $250 off at B&H, leaving it at $999 with free shipping. Now, if you go for the Amazon option, the regular Galaxy S21 is $100 off, leaving it at $699. And of course, if you have a phone for trade-in, Samsung.com still has some crazy deals like that S21, which is available for $100 along with $100 in credit, again, if you have an eligible device. Now, going back to B&H, the Pixel 4a 5G is still $50 off, leaving it at $449. The OnePlus 8 is also $370 off its original price tag for the Verizon variant, but oddly it's unlocked, leaving it at $429 shipped. I know, that's crazy. OnePlus 7T is $250 off, leaving that at $349 shipped, and we also have a ton of deals on iPads, other Samsung products, smartwatches, gaming peripherals, and more in the description, and the next segments will tell you more about why that is. Now, let's move on to Qualcomm, as I think the company is trying to solve one of our major pain points with Bluetooth audio, or probably all of them. Quality, latency, and so much more. We've known that the company has been releasing certain audio innovations over the years, but now they're releasing something new. Yesterday, the company announced their new Snapdragon Sound, which is, yes, what I was teasing over on my Instagram, which is designed to offer a seamless and immersive audio experience across a wide gamut of products like phones and wearables. Basically, they are aiming to optimize wireless audio in such a way where it feels like wired, but adding support for 24-bit audio, better pairing, reduced latency, and clear voice quality. Qualcomm claims that this suite of audio innovations is compatible with Bluetooth latency values as low as 89 milliseconds, meaning it's much better for playing games or streaming. Now, there is a catch. This, again, is a suite. It's actually more like an ecosystem. So there is a new Qualcomm DAC, which brings an array of interesting features, which means you do need a new phone to include it. Devices featuring Snapdragon Sound's platform should hit the market pretty soon, with Xiaomi being one of the first companies to bring it along. God, I can't wait. Now, moving on to Samsung, let's talk about their A series as, well, it continues to get interesting and they continue blurring the lines here. I mean, the Galaxy A51 was the second best-selling smartphone of 2020, period. Yesterday, we got some renders of the phone from Evan Blass, and now we have more details as it was just listed in retailers in Saudi Arabia. Now, going by the listing, this phone features a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED Infinity O display, a 32-megapixel selfie shooter, but it's unclear if it brings high refresh rate or not. It's tipped to bring the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G SoC, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of expandable storage, a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, along with a quad camera at the back. Now, speaking of those cameras, apparently you're getting a 64-megapixel main sensor, along with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 5-megapixel macro, and the 5-megapixel depth sensor. Now, according to the listing, this phone should be priced around $439, and it'll be up for deliveries around March 7th in Saudi Arabia, of course. I mean, it sounds pretty solid to me, but those deliveries sound kind of iffy, as we're expecting the launch date towards the end of March, according to previous leaks, so it could probably be a typo. We'll see. Let's shift the spotlight over to Apple, and I'm really excited for these updates. We know that the company is making the move to mini LED displays very soon, pretty much this month with the new iPad Pros that we're expecting. However, a new report from Digitimes claims that Cupertino is planning to move on to OLED as soon as next year. And yes, I know, this is not the first time that we've heard about this, but it's nice to see that the leaks for this are remaining consistent, so it's something we should probably expect. Now, sticking to iPads, but moving on to a different report. According to a Korean blog, the iPad Mini Pro is currently in part 2 of design stage after passing the R&D and planning stages. The report mentions that after this, it should go through design validation testing, meaning that we should be getting this sometime this year for sure. Apparently, this iPad Mini Pro could rock an 8.3-inch display, reducing the height of the regular iPad Mini, but making it slightly wider. Other things we could be getting include a high refresh rate panel, the same dual camera we've been getting for the iPad Pro, and either mini LED or an OLED panel. I mean, that'd be great. But of course, we should expect an A14 Bionic along with the Apple Pencil support, though, I mean, by the timing, what if this would be the A15 Bionic or whatever the case? We'll see. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk about Google, because once these Pixel leaks start, they can't stop, and I honestly love it. Last week, we had some images of the Pixel 5 from OnLeak showing off the whole design, but we were expecting it to drop around August with Android 12, and let's be real, the design wasn't great. It's pretty much the same thing as the Pixel 4a 5G. Well, now we have a new tweet from John Prosser where he claims that we should wait for new Pixel Buds coming in mid-April, and apparently then Google sort of scheduled the phone announcement for June 11th, but he's not sure which one it is. The reason we're mentioning the 5a is because of that leak we got last week, along with the fact that this is closer to the original Pixel 3a's launch date compared to the 4a last year, which was a fiasco. But according to OnLeaks, this phone will bring a 6.4-inch OLED display at Full HD Plus resolution, along with a larger stove at the back that houses a 12-megapixel primary and a 16-megapixel ultra-wide lens. Other features include a headphone jack, like yay, 5G, the same fingerprint scanner at the back, and the punch hole at the front. So it looks like Google is getting rid of the smaller A phone and refreshing the 4a 5G, which, you know, it makes sense considering their flagship is a smaller device. We'll see what we get. We're still a couple of months away, and it's Google, so it'll most likely get leaked even more. But in today's question, let us know, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to kill the smaller 5a? Because in my case, it depends on what pricing they're planning for the Google Pixel 6, if that ever happens. But anyways, that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And follow me on my personal handles to see me try new cameras, get styes, and complain about not enough Google leaks. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.